So first, let's get to the lead vocal. We just got some auto tune, waves tune. For you guys that use this waves tune, if you see this, turn this off. So if you're like singing like a melodic type song, turn this to not corrected. I even leave it all on not corrected, even for when I'm rapping too. Like I don't like when the format's corrected. It makes your voice. It almost sounds like they're like pinching your vocal cords. Like it sounds. I don't know. It sounds weird. So turn this shit off. Also, vibrato. If you're like singing and you're holding notes, just turn the vibrato on. If you're not holding notes, turn this shit off. Okay. Make sure it's off. The speed also. I see people mess with the speed, and the speed is cool to mess with. The speed is basically like an attack on a compressor, so how fast the auto tune is going to work. I want my auto tune to work immediately, and then to get the sound that I want, I'll mess with the note transition here. But yeah, so yeah, that was the first, just to get the vocal in tune with the beat. Then I did a little bit of flanger just to give, a little bit of vibe to the vocal. I put this vocal doubler on here just to make it, I don't know, the vocal was sounding kind of like dead. So I don't know. This just gave it another vibe. And then I have two C6s. When I use a C6, I really just use these two little things right here. So they're really useful. You can move them around. They almost work as like de-essers, kind of. That's how I use them. But I got that from Jason Joshua. Shout out Jason Joshua. But regardless, I'm working on this 3K frequency, which with like my voice, for whatever reason, the 3K and 7 to 6K is always really bad. So I'm just compressing that area. I'll let you guys see what I mean.
With the money like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. Run around town with the money like ain't shit funny. I'm run around town with the money. Run around town.
So yeah, I'm just compressing that area, just controlling it. When my voice gets loud, or when I start talking really loud, like my voice gets really harsh. So that's all that's doing. And this one, let's see what I'm doing on this one. This one I'm doing 250 hertz. So from like 200 to about 400 hertz with my voice is really muddy and bassy. Like it sounds like I have my hand over my mouth while I'm talking. So in order to control that, I just compress it a little bit. That way my voice sounds a lot more clear. And then this 6K is just like where it's like really harsh for my voice. So yeah, I do that. I did that on the leads. For the ad libs, I didn't put anything. Normally this fruity panomatic just makes your vocals go left and right. So sometimes I'll do that to the ad libs, but I didn't do that here. And then here's just the radio preset for like the telephone effect. But I didn't use either of those in this song. For the double, all I did was just put some auto tune on it and then do little micro shift. Little micro shift, all it does is just spread the vocal out. So the double vocal isn't like right on top of the lead. It just kind of like spreads it out a little bit, give it some space. And for you guys that don't have micro shift, that you just have the stock FL Studio plugins, go to the stereo shaper and go here, go to presets, and you can use Stereoize 2 or Stereoize 3. I always use Stereoize 3, but yeah, to get the same effect, just pick from those 3 presets and you can get the same effect of spreading your double out so your lead can have more space. So with the ad lib, I normally either do like a telephone effect or like pan it so it's out of the way of the lead. And then with the double, I'll normally spread it out with like some type of spread, like a doubler or the little micro shift. And then if I have an ad lib and a double both going, I'll normally put reverb on one just to give it even more space. You can put the reverb directly on the channel. I know you hear people say, don't do that shit. It's like, it's going to fuck. Like you can do that shit. It's all good. You can put reverb directly on the channel because it's giving it a sound. If you put reverb over here, which are like my sins, and I'll go over that later, but that's more of a subtle thing. But if you want it more of an obvious effect, I always put reverb or delays directly on the channel for more of like an obvious in your face type of effect. Okay, so yeah, once I do my leads, my ad libs, and my doubles, I bus them all to this lead bus. And also now a new thing that I started doing is each individual, since I send them to a bus, I'll do a little bit of EQ and compression on each one. And I just do it with the SSL. Hold on, I gotta find it. I do it with the SSL. So I'll just like do a little bit of compression and EQ. Oh my God. On each one. My fault, y'all. So yeah, I'll just do a little bit of compression and EQ on each one, and then send it to the bus. But if you want a free channel strip plugin, Waves has like a free bundle. If you go to waves.com, they have a free bundle. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what I'm trying to say right now, but the lights are just randomly flickering. I'm not redoing this video, so if the lights randomly go out, don't worry about nothing. But I'm not redoing this video, so. But yeah, this is a free channel strip plugin, just like the Waves SSL channel strip. But this one is free, and it's on waves.com. If you want to do what I do, I would set this to 10, the attack to 10. And I would set the ratio to 2. The release should be good. I would probably just slow it down just a little. And then EQ. But yeah. It's so funny that these lights is going off. It looks like this place is haunted. But yeah, so once I do all that, then I go to the bus. So at the bus stage, I just got a basic EQ, just taking out some of like all the low frequencies, all that like background noise in my room at 100 hertz and below. Taking out 300, that's where like a lot of bass in my voice is. Taking out 500 and 800, so I'll let you guys hear that. And I'll let you guys hear what each one of these things are doing too. I think that'll help. So I'm about to play.
I go get the money, run around town, looking like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. Run around town with the money like ain't shit funny. I run around town with the money, run around town with the money like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. Run around town with the money.
So yeah, without it, it just sounds a little bit more bass in the voice and a little bit, I don't know. With the EQ, it just sounds more clear, I guess. So next, I compress my vocals. This is how I get the vocals in tune with the song. So, yeah, I'll show you what I mean.
I go get the money, run around town, looking like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't.
So this is the release, right? People always make the release seem like it's some crazy thing. The attack is how fast the compressor is reacting. So if you look at get out the way. If you look at these, my vocals, they're not too dynamic. What I mean by dynamic is I get really quiet, then really loud, really quiet, then really loud. And you could tell on these waveforms, but my vocals are pretty steady. But if you have a really, really dynamic vocal where it's really, really quiet, then really loud at parts, I would speed up the attack to like 4 or 2. But if your vocal looks like mine, where it's just pretty chilled the whole way through, dynamic range, just like I'm pretty like rapping the same way the whole way through, you could do like a chill attack like I have, like 5 to 10. But yeah, I just chose 5 here. And then for release, so check this out. All you want to do is get the release with how you're rapping. So if you're rapping really, really, really fast, like the Migos, you want a fast release. If you have like a slow ballad type song like Adele and you're singing, you want a slow release. I'll show you.
I go get the money, run around town, looking like ain't shit funny.
Oh yeah, and this meter tells you how fast the release is going. So check this out.
I go get the money, run around town, looking like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. Run around town with the money like ain't shit funny. I run around town.
Okay, so if you notice, when the release was slow, the meter was moving like this. When the release was fast, it was moving like this. So all I have to do is get the release in time with how I'm rapping. Watch this.
I go get the money, run around town, looking like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. Run around town with the money like ain't shit funny. I run around town with the money, run around town with the money like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. Run around town with the money like ain't shit funny. I run around town with the money, run around town with the money like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. No, you ain't talking about.
All right, so look, 82 works. So if you notice, when I was rapping, the compression was going, but as soon as I stopped, it stopped compressing. That's all you want to do. Just get the release in time with the song. Ratio is really easy. If you want really light compression, 2 to 1. If you want something really aggressive, 4 to 1. If you want something in the middle, 3 to 1. So yeah, Just think, am I trying to get light or aggressive? If you want to go aggressive, go 4-to-1. If you want to go light compression, go 2-to-1. If you want something in the middle, go 3-to-1. Okay, cool. So next is the pull tech. Is just gonna give your vocal some air. So I'll show this.
I go get the money, ride around town, looking like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. Ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. I ride around town with the money, ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. Ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. I ride around town with the.
All right, so if you notice, my voice got really like airy and like crisp with that EQ, the pull tech. So I just selected 12 on this one and boosted it. I didn't do anything. Well, I guess I took out some on a low, 0.5. But yeah, I just selected 12 and boosted it till I got the sound that I want. Then after that, I just used the stock preset on this Waves de-esser, and I boosted the EQ into the de-esser to get the sound that I want. So listen.
I go get the money, ride around town, looking like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. Ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. I ride around town with the money, ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. Ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. I ride around town with.
Okay, so this de-esser with the lead vocal, I only hit like the 3, and I'm just trying to catch all those like S's and T's. But with my background vocals, to get them out of the way with the lead, you don't want your background vocals to have all those and sounds. So I make the little.
I go get the money, ride around town, looking.
I make that little red meter hit the little 6 right here. So for lead vocals, I hit at 3. For background vocals, I hit 6. But you have to be careful, because if you compress too much, it'll start sounding like you have a lisp. So you have to be careful. Okay, so, and sorry if I keep fucking y'all ears up, but y'all be good. So yeah, next is this EQ. I probably heard something in the voice I didn't like, so I just took it out. I'm about to play the vocal. I just took out some lows, compressing at 200 hertz where my voice sounds like really muddy. Taking out some 5K, probably where it was harsh, and then boosting some more top end. I'm about to play the vocal.
I go get the money, ride around town, looking like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. Ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. I ride around town, ain't shit funny. I ride around town with the money, ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. Ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. I ride around.
Okay, yeah, so just shaping the vocal more, then I use another de-esser. I use 2 de-essers a lot. I like the Waves and this one, but sometimes I use 2 de-essers because the first one didn't do its job. Pretty much as simple as that. The first one didn't do its job. Sometimes with the first de-esser, I'll only get like from 3 to 5K. And then the second de-esser, I'll get like all the higher frequencies. So like, I don't know, 6K and above. But yeah, I use 2 de-essers on this one. So yeah.
Ain't shit funny. I ride around town with the money, ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. Ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. I ride around town with the money, ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't.
All right, next is another compressor, the RVox. This is my favorite compressor ever. It's simple. It's only 3 knobs. So with this, what I do is I get a lot of gain from the vocal. It makes the vocal right in your face. But before you use the RVox, make sure you EQ and you get everything out, because whatever your vocal sounds like is going to make it right in your face. So if it sounds shitty and you got all this background noise going on in your room, when you put the RVox on, it's going to bring it right to the forefront. So make sure you properly EQ, DS, all that shit before you RVox. But about to play the vocal.
Ain't shit funny. I ride around town with the money, ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. Ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. I ride around town with the money, ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. No, you ain't talking about nothing. You ain't talking about nothing. Like go.
Yeah, so it just makes the vocal more in your face, more present, and compresses it a little bit more. And then this is a gate just to take out all the background noise. Okay, next, another C6, just compressing some of this low stuff again, taking out some of that high stuff. NLS bus. This is, I just picked my nose on camera. Oh, well. This is for saturation. So back in the day when they recorded on analog, you would get all this nice distortion and saturation and like differences in the vocal. But when we move to the computers and the laptops, the vocals start sounding really, really clean. And we don't like hearing clean vocals. We got used to hearing like the dirty, saturated vocals that the analog equipment, you know, brought in. So what we do in the digital age is we take VSTs like this, or I'm just gonna show you more if you don't have. You can use this stock FL Studio, the Fruity Blood Overdrive. It's a preamp, or you can use saturation, air distortion, Gorilla Drive. I use a Little Radiator, Saturn 2, tape, any type of distortion plugin that's going to give your voice a little bit of grit and a little bit of. I'm not even really pushing this. It's just 0.2, but just that 0.2 is going to make the difference. Give my voice a little bit of grit, a little bit of to make it stand out. Then just DS it again.
Ain't shit funny. I ride around town with the money, ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. Ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. I ride around town with the money, ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. No, you ain't talking about nothing. You ain't talking about nothing. Like go ahead, show me some. Go ahead, show me the money. Go show me some. You niggas ain't talking about nothing. No, you ain't talking.
So yeah, it just adds that little bit of extraness to the vocal. Then I felt like it got a little bright after I did that, so I DS'd it again. And that's the whole vocal chain. Next, I go to my reverb, just a simple reverb with the EQ and spread it out with an imager. Delay, just H delay. I always use H delay, same, spread out with an imager. Then with the delay, since the vocals were so crisp and like heavy on the S's and T's, when it would delay, like the delay would sound heavy on the S's and T's. So I had to delay, put a de-esser on my delays to like combat that. And then I have an EQ here to combat those harsh frequencies even more. Then here, another delay. This is just like an 8th delay just to give it another vibe. It's a ping pong. So the first delay is like in the sitter, and the second delay is like going like this. So it just gives like a space to the vocal. And then just like a basic doubler just to give some stereo information to the vocal. So it's not just mono. You have your mono, then you have some stuff happening in stereo too. But yeah, those are all my effects. I'll show you what I'm on and off. I'm about to play the vocal.
Ain't shit funny. I ride around town with the money, ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. Ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. I ride around town with the money, ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. No, you ain't talking about nothing. You ain't talking about nothing. Like go ahead, show me some. Go ahead, show me the money.
Yeah, very simple. Nothing crazy. Just basic reverb, delays, and a doubler. Very simple. On a beat, in order to get the vocals to sit with the beat, I use 2 tracks. I don't really use stems. Even though I produce these myself, I know exactly how I want the beat to sound. So I just mix it, bounce it out, and then I'll bring the 2 track and record over it. I don't do stems. I don't give a fuck. I don't really care. So in order to get the vocals to sit with the beat, first I use the Fruity Parametric EQ2 because this is what I use when I'm producing. So if I need to like shape the beat, if it's too much bass, I'll use this. If it's too much like clap, I'll take down this 3K. If it's too much hi-hats, I'll take down a 5K or 8K. To get the vocals to sit more with the beat, I'll take this down. If the beat's too muddy, I'll pull this down. It just depends what the beat needs. But I'll use that. I also use track spacer. So what, hold on, I'm about to play the beat. So you guys, 1 second.
Ain't shit funny. I ride around town with the money, ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. Ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny.
So basically what track spacer is doing is every time the vocal plays, it's ducking the frequencies in the beat that's competing with the vocal. So yeah, that's what I do there. And then this Pro Q3, I only use this for like mid side. So only taking out the mid frequencies where the vocal lays, where the vocal is. So that's probably like the snare and like some instruments, I don't know. And then here the beat was too muddy, so I just pulled out some 140 and 47. Now the thing about this is I like the Pro Q3 because it'll tell you exactly what's competing with the vocal. Watch this.
Ain't shit funny. I ride around town with the money, ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny. Niggas ain't talking about nothing. Ride around town with the money like ain't shit funny.
Okay, so if you notice those red lines, that tells you exactly what spots are competing with the vocal. So if you notice the beats playing, if you have Pro Q3, first you have to side chain the vocal to the beat. So go down here, right click, side chain to this track, go to Pro Q, go here, click this, processing. Or no, I'm tripping. You don't have to do all that. No, you don't have to do that at all. Just side chain it to the track and then go here and then it'll pop up, whatever. So mine's called lead bus, but whatever it's called, it'll pop up here. And then, yeah, you'll be able to see like what frequencies are competing. So yeah, that's what I did to the beats to get the vocals to sit better. So I always do that. How I do it is like, I'll start to like level. So let me show you my process. I'll record the song, then I'll come in, I'll arrange it. Sometimes I'll record it and then I'll arrange the song differently. Then I'll go through, I'll do all my cuts and edits, all my crossfades, all like cutting the dead air out, all that type of stuff. Then if I need to, I'll use new tone. So if you guys don't know what new tone is, like if you're singing and how did I get to new tone? Anyways, that's a whole nother video. But if you're singing, new tone is basically like Melodyne pretty much. It just fixes your pitch. You can basically make yourself sound better. It's pretty much like Melodyne. That's a whole nother video. If you guys want me to go over new tone, leave a comment below. But just YouTube new tone FL Studio. And yeah, it's really helpful. But yeah, I'll do all my cuts, my edits, all my arrangement. Then I'll do my leveling. I'll level the beat to where it's hitting like -6. Oh my God, -6 dB right here. And then I'll level the vocals to where they're sitting on top of the beat, but they're not so loud to where it's like just overpowering the beat. Then I'll start applying the mix. So first here, I start here. Then I go to the bus. So I do my EQ, my auto-tune. Auto-tune's always first. Auto-tune always goes first. Auto-tune, then I'll go to my EQ compression, then I'll do my effects. So if I'm putting a flanger, if I'm putting reverbs, delays, I'll put that there. And it's okay. You can put your flangers, your delays all directly on the vocal. And then I send that to the bus. And from the bus, it goes straight to the master. And when I'm sending these to the bus, all I'm doing is I'm clicking all of these. So control, drag, selecting whatever one I want to make the bus, which is this lead bus here. Right clicking and route to this track only. And all of these will be coming out of this track and the bus is going through the master. Hope that wasn't confusing. If it is, oh well. Okay.